Hi everybody, it's Sue Bowler here and welcome to the second part of how to create inspiring Instagram and Facebook posts using Canva as our design tool. In part one, we looked at some free resources that are available from the Qualitex website. There are some amazing marketing materials there, and there are also some amazing free resources for QBM members and CBAs. So what we're going to do is, if you haven't watched part one, you'll probably find that quite interesting, and it will probably answer a few questions that I may not cover in this second part. So we're not going to delay anymore. We're going to go straight into creating a design, and we're going to use some of the templates that I downloaded from the Qualitex site. This is the free version of Canva. I will be using the pro version, but that's in the second video, which is at the end of the blog. So let's get started straight away. So we're going to create a design, and just going to open up the Instagram template. Now, in the first tutorial on the part one, we looked at how to create posts using templates, and that was the actual template that we used. And so we took a ready-made template and we added our own design to it, and that's quite a nice way to create a unique post where all the professional work's done. All you're going to do is slot in what your images and your wording. But today what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this blank canvas, and we're going to work from there. So we're going to go to our uploads folder. Now, again, in part one I showed how to upload, but it's very simply, you just click on here and it will take you through to wherever you've got it preset. So for me it goes to my downloads, and from there you can find the folders that you want to take your images from. So I've already uploaded some images, and these are the two that we're going to look at in this tutorial. The first one is this lovely reindeer design. This is a design by Cam Woody from Pioneer Balloon Company. It's credited to her here, and we've got the Qualitex logo, so we're going to leave those because I strongly believe that if we use an image belonging to somebody, we should give them the full credit, so we don't want to take that away. But this is a lovely design that we can use as part of our Christmas marketing, and so what I want to do with this is add a background, add some text, and maybe even look at what else we can do with it. So I'm just going to pop that design over to the right hand side of the page, and I'm going to use these arrows just to increase the size of the image. Okay, now you'll see that around that image is a box, and then there's a second box which goes around the actual template for the Instagram post. If we want to add a background, we need to highlight the bigger box. If we have the smaller box, then we're not going to be able to do it. So we're going to highlight the bigger box, and we're going to scroll down to backgrounds, and we're going to click on there. Now, there'll be a range of backgrounds that come up here that are available, and we can just go through and try them out. Or you could do what I did, and I actually did a search. So I actually typed in the word Christmas, and let's see what happens there. So the only background that they suggest for Christmas is this one here, and it's free. And for me, that's your sort of twinkling Christmas tree lights, but it's very subtle, it's all in the background. So I'm going to use that. And what I really like about this one is the colours. You know, you've got that blue there, which reflects, sort of ties in with the blue on the reindeer. You've got these little lights around the antlers that sort of pick up some of the colours that are in these sort of twinkling lights. But you're probably looking at it and thinking, wow, that's just too domineering, which it absolutely is. So don't worry about that. This is where you need to sort of think about what you're doing. You've got here a transparency button. So if we click on there and we just use the slide facility, we can tone that right the way down until we decide that the image stands out and the background is purely what it's meant to be, a background. And I think that works perfectly. Now, if we click on the background again, we've got other things that we can do. So we can add effects, filters, adjust, we can crop it. So I'm just going to look at filters for this one. And a filter is a way of just adding an instant sort of colour. I've played with a few of these. For example, let's just for argument's sake, let's click on retro, and then it changes it to a more green tone, and that's sort of shown there. Then we've got the blues, makes it a little bit bluer. I actually liked festive, thought that worked really well. So I think it makes the colours pop out a little bit more. It's a little bit brighter. If I show you the original, and then I go on the festive, you can see how it sort of suddenly lights it up a little bit more. So I really like that. So I'm going to keep it like that. So that's great. Now what I need to do is I would like to add some text. So I'm just going to click on the text button, and we've got all sorts of different preset text. Now these guys, shine, shine, shine and glow, and these are all new. These are very, very new. And so I haven't even had an opportunity to play with them yet. So I'm not going to do that now because that would be very silly of me to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to put in a keyword. So I'm going to use the word Christmas. Now, sometimes when I am adding text to a design, I might do a search on the internet. So I might just say Christmas poem, or Christmas sayings, or slogans, or mottos, or any different ways of finding different styles of text. But Canva already have some preset ones in here, so these are really good to use. And this is the one that I've been playing with, and it actually says, "May your days be merry and bright," and I thought that would complement this design very well. So I'm just going to pop that in there, and I'm going to move it to the side. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, a bit tickle there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down the bright, so it means it doesn't impose so much into the design, but I am going to make that whole thing bigger. And let's take it up to 144. Oh, it's only done some of it, sorry, because let's go back again. Okay. You can always expand it that way as well if you want to change the sizing. So you can just change it until you get it to the size that you want. I'm just going to make it a fraction smaller, and then I'm just going to move it so it's centered. That pink line, do you see that pink line there? That appears centers it. The other thing I'm going to do is the "May your days be" is really quite little, so I'm going to increase the size of that as well. And that's slightly more than I wanted it to be. Let's try that one. We can always, I wonder if it'll let me, oop. There you go. So we can read it easier now. So the next thing I want to do is, so I'm happy with the text, I want to change the colours. Black's okay, but it's a little bit too, dark. So if I click on there, you'll see that the text colour will come up. So that's the A symbol. And this is what I love about this, is if you look here, it shows you the photo colours. So this is all the colours that appear in the background, and these are all the colours that appear in the design. And we can have a little play by clicking on that one. So that looks really nice. But in the blue, I think that can look good. But because it's Christmas, I thought the red really complements that really well, and it highlights the nose and really brings some warmth to it. And for the "May your days be," I'm going to keep that dark, but I'm not going to make it black. I'm actually changing that to the brown. And there you go. That's really all I wanted to show you. So that's taking a PNG image from the Qualitex website. Now this just to remind you that this particular design is only available, any of the PNG decor designs, to get the full size resolution, you have to be a QBN member or a CBA, and this will be as a PNG file. The same as all the balloon images, and a PNG means it's got no colour to the background. So when we add a background in like this, it takes the colour right the way to the image. If it was a JPEG, which lots of images are, see where that box is around here, everything in that box would be white, so it's not a clear background. So PNGs are really, really good files to work with. So that's really what I wanted to show you. There is this fantastic button here. It says animate. Now, some of these are free because we're in the free version, and some of these are for the pro version. So we can only really look at the free version. So you can see that you've got all these different things that can happen. So if I click on it, it shows you, it's just a very simple animation. So that's the tumble, that's the fade. That's quite nice. Now these are 5 second long, if you look here, 5 second long MP4 files. It's been proven that videos get more likes and interest than a static photograph. So what I would personally do is I would save this design as a JPEG or a PNG, depending on how big a file you want to save it as. For social media, you can save it as a smaller file, so like a JPEG, that's not a problem. It doesn't need to have a clear background, so it doesn't need to be a PNG. And we can save it, so if we look over here, download types. So you've got PNG, JPEGs, PDF print quality. So you've got all those different options. So PNG is a high quality image, JPEG is a smaller file size. So, if you don't want to be saving these images as large files, you can save them as a JPEG and they'll be perfectly good for your social media. And if you could save it as a little video as well. So if you've put on a little animation to it, and that means you've got 2 different posts that you can use at different times over the Christmas period. And the other great thing is if you save this image, so let's go over here, file and save it to, let's have a look. Save to a folder. So you've created a folder. If you save it in there, if you want to make a quick adjustment later and maybe switch out that image for a different image or change the messaging or whatever you want to do, it's there. You can bring it back in and you can make new changes to it. So it's the more organized you are at this stage, the more marketing materials you're going to have to play with at a later stage. So that's that one. So I'm not going to save this because I've already saved it several times during practicing and playing. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm just going to get rid of that one. So I think we've covered everything there. So we're going to go home and we're going to start our next design. So create Instagram post. Now for this post, I'm going to use a template that's available to everybody. It's a free template and it's in the marketing materials in the lifestyle section. So if I just go to uploads and I'm going to click on this fruity one here, I'm just going to expand that into the space like so. You'll see this image twice in the marketing materials, once in the COVID section where there's been some posts prepared for during the COVID period that you can use just to tell customers that you are doing contactless deliveries and things like that. And you'll see this post with like a motto or slogan in here. And then if you go into the lifestyle shots, you'll see this same post but without any slogans in there, any wording in it. So this is a great opportunity for you to take a post like this and add in your own marketing. It could be your logo, it could be a slogan. So I'm going to add a little text into this. And this was quite a hard one to find the text to go with it. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to write in here. So let me just expand that a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to remove that second box because I know I'm not going to put any credit to anybody. It's nothing like that. So I'm just going to delete that element. And I'm just going to switch that text out and I'm going to put some text in that I've found that I thought might work. So I'm just going to say, let us help you to, and I'm going to use a word, tropical eyes. Now in the US you'll probably use a Z for eyes, whereas in the UK and other countries we often will use an S. So whatever works for you, your dreams. And this was a little motto that I saw and I thought that this would be good. So let us help you to tropicalize your dreams. Because what we're trying to do with our posts is we're trying to inspire people. Rather than say we can supply balloons for your party, we're talking about their dreams and how this could really, make their event really look fantastic. We can make that a little bit bigger. Let's have a quick look. There we go, maybe slightly bigger than that. You can just keep playing. That works nicely. I'm just going to drop that down there. And the next thing I want to do is change the colours of the font. So we know how to do that, and we also know that the this software will pick up the colours that it sees within the design. So it's picked up the greens, the yellows, this pinky red and orange. And what I thought might look quite nice is if we maybe highlight a letter or a word at a time, and then maybe change those. Oh, just want one of those. Help. Now, I didn't think that the yellow really stood out well enough. We can have a quick look on that background. Let's just have a quick note. That's okay. We'll leave it today. And we'll do orange for tropical eyes. And then we've got green. And obviously if we don't like it, we can always change it. But this makes it look fun because it's multicoloured. Let us help you to tropicalise your dreams. So yeah, we can do something funky like that, and that's really nice. I mean, you've got some really nice different text styles now. These are really interesting, some of these, like these ones here. But as I said, I haven't tested these out yet, so until I play with them, I'm not going to show them on here. So really, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you in this little video clip. In the next video clip, towards the end of the post, you will see how I remove backgrounds from my own photographs and some really cool stuff. And you know, sometimes, and this is using the Canva Pro versions, and sometimes it doesn't always work, so we're going to look at what else we can do. So anyway, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial.